Welcome back to Steve Does Stuff. I'm Steve, and today we are doing four-wheeler stuff. The truck camper build is going to be taking a bit of a backseat for now, so let's see what we're looking at. This is the rear axle setup out of my 1996 Honda Foreman 400 that finally, after years of beating on it, finally gave up. So this is the old rear axle out of it. Basically what happened after years of abuse, the teeth finally wore smooth. Inside of the ring gear, also those teeth are looking pretty round. These are notorious for having water get into their drum brakes in the rear. Seals on mine were 100% shot, and one early December day I went out bow hunting, let it sit in the field all day, and it was freezing cold. Came back, tried to get it going, break the ice loose, and the rear axle and ring gear finally gave up. So as a solution, I've got Boss bearing kit with full seals to do all of the rear seals on the rear axle. Armor Tech ring gear. You can see the insides of that looking a little pointier. And an Armor Tech rear axle. So today I'm going to be kind of redoing all the seals, pressing in the bearings, hopefully getting this all back together. So I've never really done this before or messed around with the rear end on these four-wheelers like this, but they're so simple. I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. I don't have a press, but I do have a vise and some wood and a blowtorch and a hammer, which is usually how I press in and press out bearings anyway. So it's gonna be some jerry rigging, but I think I can get it done. There's a bearing on either side of this housing of the differential. That seal and those bearings are still fine, but the drum brake seal, the drum brake side, which is a double bearing, these are absolutely toast. So two bearings going in this side, one bearing pressed into this side, whole bunch of little seals, stuff like that. Should be relatively easy. What I don't know is if this axle will work with this ring gear. I have to assume it will. I don't really have the proper tools to measure it. The thing I'm gonna do is place this Armor Tech ring gear into this housing, because if that doesn't fit, I'm really in trouble. Everything looked okay in here. The ring gear, the actual face of it was totally fine, pinion's fine. I don't necessarily know how to set the lash in these, but they're straight cut gears. They've got spacers on both sides. How hard could it be, right? So I only found two spacers in here. I assume one goes on each side of the pinion. All this oil in here is kind of looking a little bit like chocolate milk. So definitely needs some seals done. You can see there's kind of some grit in around the bearings, but the bearings themselves seem to be 100%, like no issues whatsoever. So we're gonna drop this puppy in and see what happens. Wow. That looks pretty good to me. I did not think it was going to be that easy. Awesome. That's a bit of stress off there. Look at how nasty that is, though. Try and clean this out. So this looks to be the perfect size, except I didn't check if there is a seal for this. That appears to be some RT fucking V. Oh, that's going to be an issue. Now, looks like there's a very fine layer of RTV on this. So, it is time to painstakingly scrape this puppy, which is going to take some time. Well, that is a solidified RTV tub. That could have gone a lot worse. All right, let's very delicately place this on. So we got bumps top and bottom, bumps top and bottom. I would have to assume this needs to go to the ground. These big bastards, I believe, go in here. These are some biggies. Well, aside from being able to get this bolt in, it spins. You can hear it just makes a little bit of noise. There's obviously no oil in it right now, so I'm gonna let all this RTV kind of set up for a little while and move on to pulling out some seals. I am going to try my best and bang out the left, I believe it's the left side axle bearing. Seal and bearing have to come out. This has got some noise to it. It's not the best. It's better than the right side, but it's got to go. The seal is out, I should say. Pretty bad. So this may be an ambitious plan, but these pieces of wood fit exactly inside of the axle housing. So that'll give me a good surface to kind of hit it on. I'm gonna get the torch out, heat this up so it's nice and hot, and then just start wailing on it. Here we go. It's feeling a little chunky. I'm gonna clean this guy up first before we put anything in there, and then try and pound the new one in. Much better. Ugh, a lot of crap in there, but not too worried about that. Gonna grease this up, pound a bearing in. Never used this stuff before, but wanted to coat the axle in this just so it doesn't corrode as much. Ooh, very tacky. So the bearings that came with this kit, there definitely appears to be two different widths. I would imagine this one is for left side only, because it's thinner. These two guys are pretty thick. They sure look the same. That is the seal that I'm looking for. So, old is out. Nice new ones are in there. Nice new seal pounded into the end. That is much easier than working on BMWs. Drum brake side is in the vise. Peel out this thing now. I really don't want to break this casing. Pretty bad. Look at all the nastiness in here. I can't move that. There's just no way. There's been a lot of water getting in here for a long time. Let's hit it with some brake cleaner and clean it up. Woo! It's a good thing we did. Look at that. A little snap ring in there. That could have ended bad. Could have just tried to pound it right out like the other one. Kit definitely did not come with a new snap ring, so I'll be sure to hold on to this guy. Don't launch across the garage. A little more brake clean. Much better. These pieces of plywood are coming in extremely handy. They just fit. So we're going to try and beat them out after we heat them with the torch. Small fire. It's not supposed to happen. Not bad. As with the other one, grease it up so the bearing goes in easily. I hope this is the right thing to do. Nice and greased up. Pound some bearings into this puppy. Much smoother. I don't know how much I like hitting that. This is my 36mm bearing presser inner socket. Never use it on a bolt. Great for bearings. So when I'm doing this, I don't like to place it right in the middle because I don't want to punch out the middle of this and stress this. So I always try and line it up, tap on that side a little bit, move it over, tap on that side. So you're tapping the eraser. Almost. Oh yeah, we're good. More red and tacky for the second one that's going in. That looks good. I think we can put that snap ring back in there now. I'm going to be taking out these dirty old seals, cleaning everything else up with some brake clean, fresh red and tacky, fresh seals. Junk. Brake cleaner in enclosed spaces, going to the moon. Woo! Red January is a lot easier when you're huffing brake cleaner in a garage. Some red and tacky down on there just so the seal sits in there nice. Go to our other side. Same thing. Okay, right side up. Should probably clean that up before I put it on. Top, bottom. Wait. Oh God, that's the wrong way. It's supposed to go out like that. Okay, that's way better. This appears to be on correct. So now I'm going to slap another rubber seal on this side, pop it on top, and this time I'm trying to slide that axle in. Red and tacky. Alright, there we go. We are getting pretty close to being back together completely. I did notice in this kit, got these little seals right here, and I would have to guess these seals are right here, so I'm going to dig these out and replace them with the new ones. It's as easy as that. This guy is out. Give a little clean up in there. Good and tacky. Much better. Got the drum brake assembly back together. Got a new seal on this spindle, or I don't know, hub or whatever you want to call it. There's no drum brakes in here. We're done with that. The last seal we got to change out is this dirty old bugger, which is well past its best before date. And based on the other one, it was a little destroyed. I would have to say this goes out. Red and tacky. Don't really want to hammer this because squeeze it in with my palm and my fingers. Never sat all the way at the bottom before. You can see there's a bit of a gap in between it. The other one never set flush in there, so I'm not really going to get too excited about it. Okay, well that is one rear axle rebuilt. Let's see if I can show you the action on this guy. Oh, it's hard to turn it without knocking it over. It seems good. I'm going to wait for the RTV to dry before I throw some oil in it. So I got this guy all back together, except for this piece right here. I'm gonna take this axle housing off, take this guy off, and put this in the proper place because this is the old bearing. I believe it needs to sit right there. So, pretty sure that is exactly where that's got to go in here. There's the bearing in this side, so I believe this needs to go in here to essentially go on the far side of the bearing. So then this guy slides in here like that, and the bearing will ride on this part of the hub. thanks very much for watching, and eventually, once we're out of lockdown, thanks to the Dougler, we will be able to go back up north and put this back on my four-wheeler. So thanks for watching. See you next time.